back, everyone. In this quick daily series, we are going to review England tour of India. We'll have a quick 5 to 10 minute summary with our resident experts, and we will call it as it is. Okay, Chennai first test between India and England. Test cricket returns after 14 months in India. Time to welcome Vishak. Welcome, Vishak. You took a day off to watch the day one. Thoughts? How did it go?
The thoughts didn't work out well for India. It was a bad day at the office. Hope India comes back well on the second day.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, long way to go. Was toss a factor? Yeah. Root won the toss and batted in.
Yes, the toss is definitely a factor in any of the tests in India, especially when it's like a road, like how it was in Chennai. So definitely toss was a factor, and England had that advantage first up.
Okay. Walk us through the day. We have right from England winning the toss till the end of the day, last ball to Sibley. So walk us through the day for our viewers.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Suman. So the first thing is the things didn't start good for India with Axar Patel getting injured, and India had to change their alternate combination mainly with the 11. So if Axar Patel may have been fit, they would have gone with Axar Patel and Kuldeep Yadav. So now, since they wanted some bit of batting cushion with Axar Patel injured, they had to go in with the Washington Sundar, who was not played much first class cricket, and then go with Shahbaz Ahmed as a left arm spinner. So that was a big setback for India, and next setback was England winning the toss. So the pitch was a road, as I mentioned already, and that was a massive advantage for England. So then India had to bowl first. I think India missed the trick there by not giving Ashwin the new ball, because I think there might be initial bit of moisture in the pitch which Ashwin might have kind of used and got some early wickets. But the openers played really well, but I think India should have attacked a little bit more with the new balls. So England was going comfortably in the first session until Rory Burns had a brain pain and played a reverse wave against Ashwin. So, and immediately it was like Kohli made a masterstroke by bringing in Bumrah, and the ball was reversing. So Dan Lawrence didn't stand a chance against it, and it got out. What was going completely in favor, what session was going in completely in favor of England, and it turned into India's favor. The first session actually went into India's favor, and like Joe Root had just walked in, India had a good chance. Like India started well in the first session. Ishant Sharma was bowling really well in that initial spell. But I think Kohli missed this trick there by stopping him with just 3 overs in that spell and bringing in the lesser bowlers. That's where we couldn't control the runs with Washington Sundar and Nadeem bowling in tandem. And we started leaking runs, and both Sibley and Root started to play really well. And I think we should have had some attacking fields. We didn't have a silly point. Basically, when the batsmen were playing, when Ashwin was bowling, and sometimes when Ashwin was bowling around the wicket, we didn't have a leg spin. I think those kind of things we missed, and we allowed those batsmen to go onto the front foot and play easily. They didn't have a doubt whether they had to go onto the front foot or back foot, because the field placements were missed. So England were quite comfortable in the second session, and they racked up around 73 runs without the loss of wicket, and it was comfortably England's session. And Joe Root was looking pretty good for a big score, and Dominic Sibley had also got a 50. So then coming to the third session, it was again Joe Root started dominating, and India was the trick by not starting with Ashwin. I think in the second session, final session, Ashwin bowled only 3 overs. He did not bowl for almost 23 overs in that session, and he was brought on around the 77 overs, and he was just given 3 overs until the new ball was taken. I think India missed a trick there. Ashwin should have bowled more in the third session. And we over-bowled Washington Sundar and Nadeem together, and the runs started leaking altogether. Then India took the new ball. Obviously Joe Root got a fantastic 100 in that session, and India took the new ball. And again, India should have persisted with Ashwin with the new ball, which they didn't do. And finally, just like at the end of the meal, like if you have something left, you get some. You go at the end of the meal, and the marriage ceremony, you get something left over. Like that, we just got a wicket at the end of the day, and that is a good bonus for us. So the third session also belongs to England.
It's a good summary, and look, India side of the story, you've done a great job in articulating, but I think England started off pretty well. They had a great start. 60 for no loss in the first session. They almost pulled off a great start. And then from Joe Root point of view, he's coming off 2 fantastic hundreds in Sri Lanka. So he's in top form. No surprises that he ended up scoring a century. What was probably a factor also India played in is Kuldeep Yadav. I think that's a surprise, which you have expressed quite vocally that he wasn't in. And if you look at the India bowling figures on our screen, we are bowling with 2 world-class bowlers, Bumrah and Ashwin today. Ishant seemed like he was out of touch. Now they bowled, but he was trying to contain as opposed to take wickets or attack. And Washington Sundar, he did his part, but I didn't see him getting a wicket, or at least having any balls which is a wicket-taking ball. So I think net England played well too, and Michael Vaughan was on quick buzz. Joe Sibley played a Pujara sort of an innings, and he played a great knock supporting Joe Root, and they had 200-run partnership before he got out.
Yeah, exactly 200-run partnership.
Excellent. That's great. So that's day 1. Still a long way to go on the test match. We have 4 more days. So I think the new ball is 8 overs old. So tomorrow morning session will be crucial. Switching to Joe Root, what top form he is in. Of course, he's playing his 100th, and he becomes the 9th batsman to score a century in a 100th. And last one was Hashim Amla. Any quick thoughts about Joe Root?
Yeah.
Back him next.
Yeah, right from the time when we had the session for the England series, myself, Mithun, and Akash spoke about it, and I think whatever we spoke just sparked something in him, and he got back into form and is not looking back. And he has been in terrific form since that series, and he has been scoring tons and tons of runs since then. And his knock was pretty good. And initially, I thought he struggled a little bit against Ashwin. And slowly, when the lesser bowlers were brought on, he started sweeping pretty well, and he used the sweep pretty well, and he started scoring runs very freely. Initially, if you look at his first half of the innings, he was only scoring at around 38 or 40 strike rate. So slowly, when the lesser bowlers were brought on, I think we became a little defensive, and he started scoring more runs. So what I feel like India missed a trick over there is they knew that he was cutting and sweeping a little well. Maybe they could have tried the spinners. They could have tried something like that Nathan Lyon length, where he pushes the length outside off stump and tries to get it. So where he'll be forced to drag the ball if he sweeps, or he'll be forced to play against the spin. So, but a special mention to Joe Root and Dominic Sibley. They played really well. And Dominic Sibley, especially, I think he used his height really well. He went forward and back, and his defensive technique was good. And if you remember, he struggled a lot against Lasithan Buldania. And since that 4th innings, he has opened up his shoulder and has changed his technique. And he played and he has adjusted his technique to play spin pretty well.
Yep. And I think the first hour is crucial tomorrow. We have Ben Stokes, Ollie Pope, and Josh Butler to come. So the sooner India gets wickets, the better it looks in life. So just a quick comment from Joe Root post first day. Seems like he felt it is an unusual looking pitch on the slower side, and he predicts the spinners will come into play. So plenty of cricket still to be played. We also brought a couple of posts from our Facebook group to give a sentiment of the wavelength of our fans from start of the day till end of day. Starting from your own post, I think, like you mentioned, you were surprised no Kuldeep. And then when Rory Burns got out, I think I posted saying Ashwin strikes, and then Abhinesh Warrior says that it's more of burning himself than Ashwin didn't strike. And then switching off, when Dan Lawrence got out, Muthu Ramakrishnan thought that they had a chance with a start of 400 to 450. And then quickly he thought that, okay, it might be a 300 to 350 first innings. And then as the third and last session started coming in, you see Sandeep Jaiswal starting to switch gears. And that was surprising. Captain should have picked Thakur instead of Bumrah because he can bat too.
Mm.
I think that's the wavelength of the day it has gone for Indian fans. But at the end of the day, I felt slightly India might have become complacent on day one. That's my summary. But tomorrow, time will tell. I think there is a long way to go for the test match.
Yeah. So as Joe Root already mentioned, right? It was, and Michael Vaughan also mentioned, it was an unusual pitch. It was a complete road, which England would not have expected on the first day. Coming into the first day, they would have expected a lot of turns on the pitch. That's how the traditional Chennai pitch is. Yeah. But this pitch was little different, like a slow-looking surface, easy to bat. There was nothing much going on except for a little bit of reverse swing. That's where I feel India definitely missed Mohammad Shami, because he could have been a major factor with the reverse swing. And definitely India missed Ravindra Jadeja, that's another thing.
Yeah.
So, and Anderson is going to be a big factor in this test match, according to me. And as Joe Root mentioned, it's going to spin as the match progresses. And I think all is not lost yet. So even if you look at the previous tour in 2016, England scored around 400 in both the test matches, in around 2 test matches of the 4 test matches, but still India won both of them. So there's still not all lost for India, and India still can sneak it with a good first innings score.
Thank you, Vishak, for the inputs, and it was a great way to summarize the day by Sandesh Bangera. 100 test match, 100 runs for Joe Root, outstanding batting display.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining, and hopefully our viewers will like our quick review of the day, and drop in a comment or let us know what you think and what else would you like to see on the daily analysis. Until then, see you tomorrow. Thank you.